And good evening. Okay, so I'll be working over there for a bit. I'm gotta get some more things cut out and then we'll be working over here. So my mic will be muted for a while I'm over there just because I won't be able to read chat, but I should be back over here soon. So welcome. We're working on some accessories for this outfit. I'm so excited. So I'm going to be using a few different forms of interfacing. I've separated out my pattern pieces over at the table by what type of interfacing I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using some thinner weighted interfacings and then some thicker weighted interfacings for a couple of spots. So the thicker interfacing I'm going to use on two parts, the bottom of the bag and the hard circle center of the bow, because I want that to have like a lot of structure. And then I'm going to be using the thinner interfacing on literally every other piece of the bag. And I'm hoping that this works. I haven't decided which of the thicker interfacings I'm going to use. I think I'm just going to use the single-sided one for the bow and the bottom. Yeah, I think I'm just going to use the single-sided iron-on interfacing, which I think I have more of than I have the double-sided. But I got them both out just to see. So I'm going to test this out. Hopefully this works. It'll be fine. It'll work. It'll work. Right now, I am putting the interfacing on the pieces that require interfacing. So I've just applied the thicker interfacing. So this is my base structure for my purse. I actually should have done this. Should have done this. Should have brought this in a little bit more. Because I need space for the seam allowance. We're just going to fix that little mistake I made. Beep, 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 beep. Because I don't need super, super thick seams. That'd be a lot to deal with. Okay. Yeah, that'll be a little bit easier. Should have done that on all sides. Ah! We're gonna trial and error this until we get it. We get it right. That's where we're at. Okay. And if I can replicate this a second time, I might turn this into a pattern that I can list. We'll see. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So I might try and replicate this with my strawberry shortcake idea after con. I'm not going to get that done before con. So I'm going to work on putting more of the interfacings on, and then I will check back in when I start sewing. Good evening, Ornery Eagle. How are you this evening? I am doing well today. Yes, I'm doing very well. I am working on getting the interfacing on for the different parts that need interfacing for the bag that I'm making to go with the costume. So, working on that. I'm gonna see how much I can get done in the next hour. Yeah. I'm hoping the pattern that I've put together actually works. I drafted it and we're not even doing a mock-up, we're just making it, so. If this turns out good and they'll be able to replicate it again, I might try and like turn this into a pattern that like I can have other people like pattern test and maybe like offer it as like something. I don't know. One of my hopes. Okay. I'm sure we'll turn out. Thank you for your vote of confidence. I appreciate it. Okay, so part of my design incorporates this big bow at the front, which is the part I am the most concerned about. The part I'm most nervous about. So I've got to make this we've got a... I should have done the double-sided one. That's just fine. We got this. Okay. So I'm gonna top stitch. Yeah, I'm gonna top stitch this down. Okay. So I think on the next one I do, I'm gonna try and see if it's possible to make it into an Ida bag. Like the bag, like this part I'm working on right now, the center of the bow. If I add in a clear vinyl layer and like a true pocket on this part. Maybe it would work. So I've got that. Okay. So I need this to be... I need to decide where my... I think I'm gonna do here and here. Which will be... Okay. So that's gonna look like... Oh, that part's not gonna be visible. What am I doing? Okay. That part's gonna be underneath the thing anyway. Okay. So if I... do like...
So I need to do this one too.
apologies. Oh my gosh. welcome. RM39M R36M13. I can read. I totally can. Thank you so much. I'm working on accessories for a Hello Kitty costume, which you can see right here. Most of the time my mic is muted, but if you have any questions, I of course will answer. Oh, compared to what you're doing, this is pretty chill. What are you doing? I'm sorry, it's not very chill. I used to destroy my bike. Bike as in like pedal bicycle, or bike as in motorcycle? Motorbike. Okay. Oh, cool. That does sound frustrating. Actually, that sounds very frustrating. Especially if parts aren't fitting together. I get that. Oh, that's fast. 215 miles an hour. 215 miles an hour. That's so fast. I hope it works. I'm like, you're not that far off. You're only 4 miles per hour off, so. Huh. Good luck. Are you an adrenaline junkie? Because I think it's impressive that, like, after a crash, I'm assuming it was, you say last crash, that was like with your bike or with a bike? glad that hasn't set you, like, put you off from writing, because that would be easy too, for sure. And like surgeries are no joke, like recovering from, so I hope you don't need any more. Yeah. Of course I watch anime. Of course I watch anime. Edge Runners. 36. Okay. Like the image in my head, like I've seen like the, but I have not actually watched the anime. 36 bikes, 13 cars. Yeah, I have a picture in my head of the style of animation that's used for that. Yeah. Okay. Will that be? Yeah. Okay. I'm guessing you're from the US. You are correct in that guess. You are correct in that guess. Where might you be watching from? What was the first giveaway? Was it maybe the accent? The UK. Okay. Welcome. The UK. Nice. All right, so I want to attach this. Even though my city doesn't want to be part of the UK, we want to be Irish, and the Irish want us to be Irish. So then you must be in... Are you in Northern Ireland then? Liverpool. You're from Liverpool. That makes more sense. Like, you would have said if you were from Northern Ireland, you would have said you were from Northern Ireland. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you're on the coast. You're Strauss, not English. Okay. Respect. Respect, respect. Ever watch the UFC? Soccer? UFC is soccer, right? It's football. Yeah. Fighting. Never mind. Wrong. I don't watch boxing. Or martial. I don't. My uncle was a mixed martial arts fighter for a bit, so I did like watch some of his stuff. He was not like anything big at all, like but no, I don't. Fighting, MMA, cage fighting. No, cage fighting. Okay. No, I don't. Let's see, what do I do? I sew. I think the only time I am really, I'm not gonna, like, I do like sports. I didn't realize there was applause in that soundtrack. That was weird. Sorry. The only time I really watch like sporting events is when I have other people to watch them with. Patty the Batty. He's from here. Okay. You went to the same school. You know what? That is an experience that I think a lot of people can relate to, is like with this, especially with like really strong regional accents, that people often have a hard time understanding them. And so oftentimes, like, we have to form this very I want to say it's a very like sanitized version of our accents, if we have like a really strong regional accent. I've lived in quite a variety of regions within the US. I haven't grown up in like one specific area, so like I don't think I have a particularly strong like regional accent. I often am kind of jealous of people that do have like a really strong regional accent, because it like signifies like a connection to a place that is like so special. I sound posh. I have an accent. So our accent is a mix of Scottish, Irish, Welsh, and English, but mainly Scottish and Irish. Okay. So I'm reading back up. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I will not attempt a British accent because I know that I will be awful. It will be terrible. I have lived in like, so we in at least like I know that okay, so in university I had here in the university I went to here, I had a couple of professors who were from, I had one professor that was from England, one professor that was from South Africa, and one professor that was from Australia. And like I could tell the difference between their accents right away when they talked. Granted, all of them had lived in the States for a while, so their accent had softened a bit. But I could still, like, when like I had my first classes with all of them, I was just like, oh my gosh, you're from, like, I can tell, I can hear where you're from in this accent. And like some of my classmates would guess it wrong. Some of them would guess it right. And it's really interesting how much like our knowledge of like regional accents can impact like how, like, when we like interact with someone. I don't know where my sentence got away from me there. But like for me, my accent of the regions within in the US, search a Strauss accent will be completely different from what you think of English people sound like. I'm fairly certain I have heard a Liverpool accent before. Okay. Let's see. What videos can you be the least disruptive or get me copyright claimed? Who's not gonna copyright claim me? Hey.
Let's learn some common Scouse slang, useful if you're heading to Liverpool anytime soon.
That's not gonna help. That's really not gonna help. And all of these videos are like way too long. I think that they're gonna take a while. I guarantee you this person's gonna copyright claim me. Try the UFC? Okay, I'll try the UFC. I will search that. I will stop that. UFC. Where's him talk? That's a different person. No, it is him. Okay. Patty. There's another of him just talking. I mean, I've definitely heard his accent before, like that type of accent before. I can understand what he's saying. I mean, there, he's just introducing himself. He's definitely toned down his accent for sure there. There's a lot of the, like, in the back of the throat. One bad interview. I definitely hear more of the Scottish accent in there. It's definitely a very strong, very strong on the Scottish. Well, and I think with that particular post-fight interview, he is a bit out of breath. So he is talking a little slowly there. So but there was at one point when he's talking about the names where it does get a little bit fast, and I did not catch the second name fully. Yeah, no, but yeah, I can definitely hear it's like really heavy. It's heavier on the Scottish side of the accent than the English one. I think it's kind of as a okay. So I that 90 words per minute. I have one of my classmates from one of my classmates from high school when I split high school between a school in Tennessee that was like the second half of my high school experience, and Minnesota, which is where I started high school. So I had a classmate in the second half of high school that she talked so fast in her southern accent that often, like, the more excited she was about something, the faster she would talk, but the thicker her accent would become, and sometimes it would be harder for me to understand her. But it was never like, the worst. I could catch things. Oh, this is the part that's gonna be frustrating for me. I've just sat on the floor in the garage this whole time and done zero work. Well, sometimes breaks are necessary, especially if the break is the thing that stops us from destroying our tools. Right? Sometimes I need to, like, especially if I feel like I am on the verge of making a mistake on a project that will be a pain and a half to rectify, to fix, you know, to undo. I just need to just set it down, step away, and come back to it at another point. Sometimes you just need those breaks. I don't know what I'm doing. I actually really don't know what I'm doing. I am working off of vibes alone at this point. Does this feel right? Sure. Pin here. If the pin will work. You do it because it's fun, and it would be more expensive to have somebody else work on your bike for you. Maybe? Ooh, okay. So, your road trip across America. You're shipping your bikes over for it. Ah! Okay. That was going to be my next question. How are the bikes getting here? Of course, they'll be shipped. That'll be exciting. Okay. I guess we're just gonna I'm gonna just stitch, and we'll see if I hate this. I might have to I might have to undo some stitches, but you know what? Better than not having done anything. Especially considering I decided to make this was gonna just be a tote bag. And I decided to make it so much more complicated than I needed it to be. It's gonna just be a tote bag so I could carry some of my like necessities, like a water bottle and some snacks, and then anything I buy at the anime convention. Because this is a costume I'm making for an anime convention that is this weekend. And I have basically the entire costume done. I just have to sew some finishings, like hooks and eyes, that kind of stuff. And that'll like take me literally like just 30 minutes, I think, for everything I have to sew on there. This accessory is the thing that's gonna take me a while. Good thing is I have time tomorrow that I can work on it too. I'll be live here on Wednesday morning as well. But I'm trying to get
a good chunk of it done tonight while I'm still somewhat coherent. Custom patches? I don't really do patches. Because patches you need an embroidery machine for. I don't have an embroidery machine. That is something that is on my wish list of machines for when I have the money for a new machine and the space for a new machine. Right now, I don't have either. Which is fine. Okay, we're gonna just make sure that that gets sewn in. Make sure the zipper doesn't get caught on the wrong side of a side seam. And then I need to pin this in place so I can sew that down. We have custom hoodies with a logo on the back and our nicknames above it, so it's unique. Oh, that's so cool! Ah! The pin broke. Okay. Another pin for the garbage can. Another pin for the garbage can. Every so often, because how do I word this? Because I have been raised by two Midwestern Americans, and one of them specifically, like my one side of my family is from the state called Minnesota. And depending on where you are in the state of Minnesota, because of our proximity and similar, some similarities, depending on where you are in the state, the accent of, like, the standard Minnesotan accent is very similar to the Canadian accent. So every so often, there are things that I will say and like that I'll sound like even more Minnesotan than I normally do, and then I will say other things that make me sound like I am from the East Coast, because I also grew up on the East Coast. Like that is, the East Coast is where I started elementary school, so a lot of like the building blocks of, like, you know, of learning, like learning to read and learning how to pronounce like words and stuff, that all started there. And then I lived for a good while in the southern part of the United States, because, you know, moved around quite a bit. So then I have like some slang usage that is very, very southern, like y'alls, and the general application of like what may seem like terms of endearment, like, you know, like sweetie, honey, like hun specifically. So my accent is very, yeah. The only regions of the United States that I haven't spent a lot of time in are the West Coast. I have not spent a lot of time on the West Coast. Something I want to change. I do want to change that. I'm going through the South on my trip. Ooh! You guys will need to
when you're in the South, you'll need to stop and have like a really good like local dining experience, like especially like barbecue. Every state in the South has its own, and I'm vegetarian, so like no, not from personal experiences of tasting it, but every state in the South has its own real special like thing when it comes to like barbecue. And so I'm told, I mean, if not for some of the wildlife, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Guns. They are... Okay. What can I do right now that I won't mess up on? Nothing. Everything is something that I'm gonna have to have my full faculties to do. I was supposed to end streaming. So normally on Sundays my streams go from 7:30 to 9:30. And it is already 10, so I am like almost 10 here, 10 my time. So I am yeah. Yeah, we yeah, you definitely don't like here's the thing with bikes and the higher likelihood of you getting targeted by cops on said bikes. You don't know. I would just yeah. Yeah, I would, yeah. Okay. I mean, but don't die. Like don't do that. Oh, but like speaking of Georgia though, if you are here during peach season, Georgia peaches, if there's a good crop, they've not been doing very well the past couple of years. There's been too much rain, not enough rain, disease. Peaches, yes. I mean the actual fruit. The fruit peaches. The fruit. Yes. The fruit peaches. They're good. They're really good. Also in the South, most gas stations will have it, or a lot of gas stations will have it. I think it's mostly a South Carolina thing. At least when I lived in South Carolina, it was a really big thing. Boiled peanuts, salted boiled peanuts. Honestly, really good. There were gas stations in Tennessee that had them, like Circle K specifically. Yeah, there it is. It comes out, especially. But yeah, no. Boiled peanuts are a pretty standard regional thing. Because we don't really have them up here in the north, really. I'd have to boil my own peanuts, and I just don't have the time for that. No, you salt them. So they're salted. So they're boiled in like salty water. No, you want the salted ones. Because like so they're boiled in the shell. Like, so you know how on like planter, do you guys have planter peanut, like planter nuts as a like a nut canned nut brand? No. Okay. So so a peanut, generally it comes, it's like a bean pod. It looks like a bean pod. It's not. Okay, peanuts. Okay. Does it have a peanut as a mascot? Okay, because so basically, the peanut with a monocle. You don't have foods with mascots here? Ah, darn. The marketing is missing on that one. But no. So anyway, so peanuts basically they're like a bean, like where they have like they're inside a pod. Not a bean. They're anyway, but they're like a bean in a pod. So boiled peanuts are the whole thing boiled, like the peanut that like the thing that we normally think of as the nut is still inside. Yeah, still inside the husk. I'm just needing to just paint the whole picture. So it's still inside the bean husk thing. It's boiled in like salty water. There are some that boil it with unsalted water, and like I prefer the salty because you want the salt. And you're part of the thing. Can be a little bit messy. When how you eat them is you like basically take the peanut in its shell and you like take they're soft now, like the peanuts inside the whole thing's soft, but the peanuts inside the shell are soft and you have to take them out of the shell and you eat them, and it's great. Brisket. See, I'm also not because I have the aforementioned I am vegetarian. But yeah, based off of the people that I know that do consume brisket is something that you should try. Absolutely. I can't speak from personal experience because I have not personally had a true brisket. But yeah, recommend. This is a really good chat. I do have to work in the morning. But you are more than welcome to join me. I also got told to stay away from... Yes, stay away from White Castle. No, yeah, but stay away from White Castle. I will agree with that. That is... people only eat at White Castle in desperation or when they are heavily intoxicated. That is what White Castle is. You have to be... Anyway, so I'm gonna go, but I'll be back here Wednesday morning. I won't be here next Sunday because that is the anime convention that I will be at, so I won't be here. I'll be there. But yeah, I'll be here on Wednesday. We'll hopefully get this done. I'm gonna work on it some tomorrow, but I don't have a ton of time to work on it, so I won't be streaming, but I'll be here Wednesday morning. Thank you to our new stream friend, R36M13. And thank you to Ornery Eagle for joining in the chat earlier this evening. I hope you both have a wonderful evening, and I will see you next time.